our weekly Sunrider call that we do for you guys. We started as a team, my goodness, over 20 years ago. And it's a way for us all to come together to share our experiences, our recipes, our questions, learn from each other about why we use these products, how we use these products. Even for a lot of you who are new on this call tonight, just what is Sunrider and what are these products all about? For me, like a lot of you, I'm Dr. Karen Spencer-Dees. I'm going to host this call tonight. I came to this as a user and consumer of these products. My background is in the field of nutrition and biology. Those are my doctorates. I've been in practice for over 20 years, and I've been using and consuming the Sunrider foods for equally as long. I have used them in practice, raised my children with them, eaten them myself. We use them in our home. And so, like many of you, I come to the table with my own experiences. So this is my way to share with you a little of what's worked for us. And hopefully you'll share with each other what is working for you. It's also a really good opportunity if something's not working. And maybe somebody has a way that they're using these products that may help. I think that's always a wonderful addition to this call. So why don't we begin? A lot of you, my goodness gracious, are texting and emailing about a topic that we hear about once a year, but always around this time. And it appears that there's three topics, and I'm going to cover one a little bit thoroughly, and then the other two a little bit less. But one has to do with, and I'm preparing all of you, okay? Jackie, you especially, because you have really great testimony. A lot of people are asking how the Quinary works, and what does it do? How do you use 50 different, right, whole food vegetables or herbs? And specifically, guys, there seems to be a lot of questions about the stomach. Not just the gut, but acid reflux and indigestion and heartburn and stomach aches and bloating. And the questions have come in to ask all of you, can you share what you're using with Sunrider and how it's really helped you? A lot of people would like to purchase and would like to begin and try. And some of their questions have to do with, and these are your questions, guys, why Vitadophilus versus, right, another prebiotic or probiotic? Why Assimilaid versus charcoal tablets or something else that's at the health food store? Another question that has been coming up in your emails has to do with how we balance all five of our systems. And how does that really work? And that leads us right back, right, to Quinary again. And then the last, which I find always fascinating at this time of the year, it appears that there's a lot of symptoms that are coincide with being dehydrated. And for a lot of you, you miss a little bit of the warning signs that you are officially dehydrated, and you become highly symptomatic, and you're looking for Sunrider foods for those symptoms, but the truth is, you're dehydrated. So we're going to cover those three topics, guys, but I'm going to open it up right now, and I'm going to ask you if you would share your own experiences. And guys, take notes, right? Take notes from each other on what works. And yes, for that person that just asked, I will begin by introducing Sunrider. So again, guys, tonight's call is all about Sunrider. And for me, as a practitioner, as a doctor, as a professor, as a mom, I have used and loved these products, my goodness, really over 25 years. And for me, I learned about these with my own health challenges while I was an exchange student studying in Tokyo. I was abroad at the university, Sophia University, when I had my own endocrine health challenges and found myself in a hospital in Japan. And believe it or not, it was the doctor at the hospital that shared Sunrider Sunrider and thought when I came back to the United States I should look this up. And for me, it was really eye-opening that the idea of nourishing your body, right? That we could feed our body to health, not just wait for our symptoms to become so loud and for everything to be a crisis to do something about it. And so it really set me on a journey that really changed my life, which was how do we nourish? How do we nourish the body, my body at that time, so that our bodies actually can feed themselves into better health? And that led me to Sunrider. Sunrider, in my opinion, as a professor and as a doctor, really stands ahead of all the other companies. And I've shared this with you before. Their mission statement always gets me, and it's always important to me to share this with you because I think you need to know where Sunrider comes from and who they really are and why so many of us are so loyal. Sunrider writes in their mission statement that we are a world-class company that creates the finest herb-based products. Our purpose is to nourish the world, and you guys are the world. So Sunrider is nourishing you. Our purpose is to nourish the world and inspire a life of balance, authenticity, and well-being. Our vision is to foster a culture of opportunity so that people anywhere can feel empowered to challenge, right, conventions, push beyond our boundaries, and pave our own path to success. We believe that investing in the holistic well-being of people will allow them to live out their best life. I find that really inspiring and really important. And their core values are integrity, innovation, harmony, connectedness, wisdom, and the reward, which is better health and a better life. Sunrider is grounded in tradition, but it's advanced through innovation. And I always loved this paragraph, and I am reading right from the catalog, guys. And it states that our company was founded by Dr. Tei-Fu Chen, a world-renowned herbalist with a degree in pharmacy, and his wife, Dr. Oi-Lin Chen, who's a licensed Western medical doctor. They started Sunrider from a very small office in Utah in 1982, but their remarkable journey really began in Tei-Fu's home country of Taiwan, where he learned from his grandfather that herbs were more than nutritious food. They were traditional medicine that we could eat, right? We could improve our health through eating the herbs. Tei-Fu, who was a sickly boy, received from his grandfather many recipes to cure and improve his health, all based in ancient herbal remedies. These remedies were so powerful that it sparked in Tei-Fu a lifelong passion for Chinese herbal philosophy. So he continued his study of herbs and chemistry. While there in college, he married a gifted medical student from Hong Kong, Dr. Oi-Lin Chen. Today, Sunrider operates in nearly 50 countries and territories with thousands of independent business owners and franchises worldwide. And what is so unique and different about Sunrider? And this page I find spectacular, and I always love, this is page 4 in the catalog, and guys, this is everywhere on their website, but I would be happy to take a photo and send it to you or post it on Facebook. What is the Sunrider difference? The Sunrider difference is based on 4 principles, and all of the Sunrider products are based on these 4 principles. 1, the philosophy of regeneration. And I'm going to paraphrase. If we use and consume enough of the right whole foods in their whole food state, such as the orange from the tree, right? Versus just extracting vitamin C, but the whole orange. If we eat the whole foods and enough of them, and we consume them in a form, right, that we can digest and we can absorb. If we can if we can eat enough of these, then our bodies will use these foods to nourish ourselves, renew, rebuild, and do something that's called regenerate, which is really to make new. If you are using, forgive me, I lost you for a minute. If you are using and consuming these Sunrider foods, remember, the philosophy is the key difference to Sunrider. The philosophy of regeneration, that we can renew ourselves. We can turn back the clock. We can take wherever we begin from today and improve upon it. Our cells can be made anew and healthier, regenerate through the correct food in the correct proportion and of a quality, right? The highest quality. The second principle is simple. This is a company of food, not chemicals. This is not designed to be medicine, and this is not designed to be synthetic vitamins. Our body is designed to recognize foods as nourishment, and this is a whole food company. The third, a variety. We cannot recover, rebuild, regenerate from one food. A lot of companies out there build an entire business on one ingredient. Well, one ingredient does not feed all of your cells, all of your organs, or all of your systems. We need a variety. I always like to say it's like going to the salad bar or out to your garden. And you pick greens, right, and orange and purples. And you pick all sorts of foods that are living, vital. And it's the right combination that is put together that feeds each and every one of our cells and systems. And then the fourth, and this is really, guys, the most critical, and it's how I began. You need to have expertise in the formulation and in the concentration of these foods. If at the top there are not people that understand food, the chemistry of food, that understands how to put it together, that understands herbology, right? That understands nutrition, that understands what foods go to what system to feed it, to fuel it, to rebuild it, to allow you to recover and regenerate. And then how do you concentrate that? And as I've shared before, they have found a way, Dr. Chen, to extract the nutrition from an example of 10 different oranges, all that nutrition, but keep it in its whole state and spray it on one orange. And when you eat that one orange, you are eating the nutrition of 10. And every ingredient in every product, whether it's skincare, or it looks like it's encapsulated, or in a bar, or you're cleaning your clothes with it, it's been concentrated this way. It's in a whole food form, and it's designed by experts to allow you to recover and regenerate. That's why we're all here. That's why we eat it. It's not short term. It's lifelong. It helped Tei-Fu or Dr. Chen recover his body, set him on a mission with a passion to create Sunrider, and here we all are today benefiting from that young boy's experience with his grandfather. Okay? So, in case you missed it, I'm slightly passionate about getting the right food in our body and what Sunrider has done for all of us and continues to do. So let me now open it up and ask you, be brave enough, guys, share some of your experiences, whether it's with Quinary, which balances our 5 systems, or your digestive tract, or, guys, hydration, because that's what I'm going to cover. Jump in.
Hi, Sharon. This is Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, I hope hope I'm not interrupting somebody. You mentioned my name. I don't know if you were talking about me, Jackie.
I was. Absolutely. It was talking about you.
All right. So my experience with Quinary, I started using and eating Sunrider foods when I was in my late 20s, and I had reoccurring bladder infections for many years and couldn't get off of the antibiotics. And I was introduced to Sunrider in 1985, and at that time we had 5 different bottles of the Quinary, the Alpha 20C, the Conco, the Livestream, Assimilaid, and what did I miss?
Prime again.
Thank you. Okay, so I started, actually the first thing I did was I got Alpha 20C and Cali, New Plus, and I think it was Prime again. And because I didn't understand yet the whole idea of nourishing all the systems. So then when I went back for my next meeting and I understood, I'm supposed to nourish all my systems, then I got all 5. And I started eating 2 capsules from each bottle. And I was able to get off of the antibiotics not too long after that. And I had been on antibiotics for over a year, not being able to get, to stop taking them, because every time I'd stop taking them, the pain and the infection would come back.
Wow.
So started eating all 5 systems. And then my other situation that I had was I was infertile, and that didn't happen. I didn't suddenly become fertile. That took several years because my body was so out of balance from taking antibiotics for such a long time. So, but eventually I was able to get pregnant. So that's pretty awesome too.
That's amazing. And so let me ask you a question, because we are going to cover Quinary here. Do you feel that by balancing your 5 major systems, you gave your body, in a sense, a better chance to recover and to function, would you say, just optimally?
Yes, absolutely, because prior to beginning Sunrider, I had been to a urologist, and he did a procedure where he put a scope into my bladder, and he saw that I had a sore about the size of a quarter inside my bladder, and that was one of the reasons why I wasn't healing. And he was quite honest with me, and he said, I don't know what else I can do for you. What you might want to do is, I don't want to gross everybody out, but he said what you might want to do is Dees with yogurt. And I thought, what are you, nuts? I thought he was crazy. But I guess he was actually ahead of his time. And but I never did that. But when I started eating Sunrider, I could feel that the sore in my bladder was healing. So,
I have to say that, everybody comes with life experiences where they don't know why their bodies are imbalanced. And I think what Jackie is really showing you is that by feeding, right? And then we're talking about Quinary. And Quinary, forgive me, Jackie, I'm going to interrupt you for a second, but Quinary is a product that actually feeds your 5 major systems. And Jackie just explained them: digestion, circulation, immune, endocrine, and respiratory. And those systems, guys, regulate all your organs. And so sometimes we don't know, right? We do not know what foods do we need to feed which system to help our bodies repair. Quinary feeds the whole body, all the systems. And so what Jackie is was explaining is that initially Sunrider had Quinary in capsules, which they still do, and she would eat a little bit from all the systems. Now they have it in powder, all mixed together. They have it in a liquid. You can just drink it, called Liquid 5. But the key is that it's 10 very strategic and specific herbal vegetables that are concentrated for each one of the systems to regulate and nourish the system and to strengthen, guys, all the organs. And so we all do not have to be doctors, right? We all do not have to be nutritionists, but we all do have to feed the whole body. Because as Jackie's talking about, she had a situation with her bladder that wasn't getting better. And what is amazing is that if you give your body enough of the right food, the body will take care of itself. And that's what happened to Jackie. It started to take care of itself. And for her, she had really an infection that lasted, I mean, you're talking antibiotics for a whole year, right? You're talking about trying to get pregnant. Now, as Jackie said, this isn't going to be a cure. But what we're looking at is how do we feed all of our systems so that for each one of us, whatever our deficiencies are, whatever our imbalances are, we have a chance, right, at recovery or improvement. And so for me, it may be that my endocrine system needed repair or was more deficient, but it did not mean that I was only going to feed that system. That's a very Western thought where we treat one system. A very different thought, or what we'll use as a Sunrider thought, right? An Eastern thought is that if you nourish and feed all systems, then each one will have enough food to balance itself out versus rob from each other for treatment. And so I bring that up right at the beginning, and thank you, Jackie, to say that although you're all emailing me about all the imbalances you're feeling digestively, we all benefit from eating all the food in the Quinary for all the systems, because we never know which system went kaflooey first and which system really needs more nourishment than the other, so we feed all of them. After you have fed all of them, then you can give extra nutrition to a system that may be more deficient, such as your digestive tract. The reason I wanted to really emphasize Quinary is because I really want to teach you that Sunrider is about rebuilding and regenerating, not just treating. Okay? And Jackie's a wonderful role model and example of healing and recovery and consistency, eating these foods every day, all the time, and allowing her body and touching a lot of lives to really, truly regenerate. With that said, I wanted to share with you what Sunrider says about Quinary. And for a lot of you, because you've been emailing this to me, you flip-flop a lot on Quinary. You use it sporadically. But I would tend to believe that this is one of the most important products we have because it nourishes literally all your organs and all your systems. Sunrider writes that this concentrated complex blend combines 5 best-selling, as Jackie said, Sunrider formulas into one super supplement infused with nearly 50 Chinese herbs like powerful Chinese yam, Chinese white flower, dandelion root, many others. The Quinary brings your body's immune, circulatory, digestive, endocrine, and respiratory systems into balance. It's the ultimate foundation for optimal health and vitality. That's the key. This is the ultimate foundation, and that's Jackie's point. You have to create a foundation versus just a treatment. Sunrider also states that there's no added preservatives, there's no chemicals, there's no stimulants in here, nothing. This is just, in a sense, the garden. of the garden and the right vegetables to feed the right system. Okay? So, again, Quinary comes in capsules, in powder, and it also comes in a liquid, and that's called Liquid 5. If you take a look at how to use on your product fact sheet, which is directly, if you click, it'll say product fact sheet on the website under the product. Sunrider will tell you dissolve 1 Quinary package into 8 ounces of water and drink it as a tea at meal times, or you can use the capsules, or you can use the liquid. But it's designed to be used up to 3 times a day, if not more. Okay? So for those of you that may not be getting the results you want, take a look and ask yourself, am I eating enough of this nutrition to make a difference? And do I need to eat more Quinary? My favorite question that's asked here of Sunrider is under the facts and questions, and it says, why is balance important to the body? That's a really interesting word, balance. And Sunrider states, in keeping with that philosophy of regeneration, a balanced body is a healthy body. Quinary nourishes and cleanses. It does both to bring your body into balance. And it nourishes and cleanses to bring the immune system into balance. It nourishes and cleanses to bring the circulation or circulatory system into balance. It nourishes and cleanses the digestive tract to bring that into balance. It nourishes and cleanses the endocrine or hormonal system to bring that into balance. And it nourishes and cleanses the respiratory system or your lungs to bring that into balance. And that's why Sunrider calls it the super supplement. So I hope that right out of the gate you're hearing how important it is to lay the foundation of balance for all of us in our lives versus just treatment. Okay? Now, on the assumption, everybody, that you are all going to either lay the foundation or you already have and possibly increase, I want to give you the 2 products that, in my opinion, work beautifully to help with the digestive tract and improve upon it in addition to your consuming the Quinary. And the first is the Assimilaid, which is one of the components of your Quinary. It's just buying an extra bottle of it, right? And using it liberally, as often as you like. It's food. So you can open up the capsules and put it in some warm water, drink it as a tea. You can just swallow the capsules. You can use it before meals to help with your digestion. You can use it after your meals to help, again, with your digestion. You can use it in between meals if you are gassy, bloated, have indigestion. You can use it with the babies, the toddlers, the elderly, in the middle. Everybody benefits from some extra Assimilaid if and when your tummy, your stomach, your upper GI tract, your lower GI tract is imbalanced. And Sunrider writes that digest your food more quickly, more efficiently, and more comfortably. And I have to say that always inspired me that you could actually digest something more efficiently and more comfortably. It didn't have to hurt. And for a lot of you, and I know this because I know you eat your foods and you always tell me how bloated you are after you eat them. So I want you to add some extra Assimilaid with your meals along with your Quinary. So all we're doing is we're giving some extra. Sunrider also states that, and this is important, that the herbs within the Assimilaid soothe your stomach and soothe your intestinal tract. That's important. It also helps to treat indigestion and provides antioxidant protection. It will help you to achieve digestive balance. So this foundation to help you get over your humps, your bumps, but rebuild, regenerate. And for so many of you, you really do not eat enough Quinary, and you definitely are not eating enough Assimilaid, or you're only eating it when you're in crisis. So if you are someone, and so many of you are texting me right now, that daily or definitely has some chronic indigestion that you are really struggling with, that you are constantly bloated, constantly having upper GI, lower GI, any GI, right, imbalance, add extra Assimilaid. And listen to me, guys. When you wake up in the morning, put it in your hot Cali or your warm Fortune, right? For the kids, I cannot tell you how many times I opened a capsule and put it in a sippy cup with a little Sunny Dew and some warm water, and they drank it and they went to sleep because nobody's tummies hurt. Now think of us as an adult. How many times have you heard that using some Assimilaid might help you relax and go to sleep? Remember, when the digestive tract is acting up, that's all any of us think about, right? That's all any of us think about. The digestive tract helps us in many ways, but the key here, guys, is you have to absorb, digest, and you really have to understand that if your digestive tract is not working properly, you really aren't transporting all that nutrition to where it needs to go. And it really is the train that drives all the nutrients to your organs and to your system. So it's a very important system. And if the gut's not happy, the body's not happy. So lots of Quinary, everybody, and add plenty of Assimilaid. And pretend it's a carrot. Nobody's stopping you from overeating a carrot. You can eat as much Assimilaid as you want. Sunrider writes one more time, and I love this, right? That this isn't just to build the digestive tract. This is used to support digestion, absorption, and as a byproduct, guys, it boosts your immunity. It also will help your body to feel that relief when you're really bloated from retention. That's a really important one. And then last but not least, under how to use, Sunrider states 2 to 3, I love this, 2 capsules 3 times a day. 2 capsules 3 times a day is your base, is your foundation at meal times, or open them up and dissolve the contents in water and drink as a tea. You guys will love the gain and the benefit from this. And even, I promise you, if your digestive tract is happy, this is the most wonderful extra nutrition to keep it happy. So I hope you will all begin with extra Quinary, and then you will add in your Assimilaid. The second is Vitadophilus, and one too many of you emailed me about this over the past week. Guys, Vitadophilus, from my years of Latin, okay? Vita means living, right? Vitadophilus, this is living bacteria. This is good bacteria that is alive that you are now going to put in your gut. And Sunrider writes that you need to balance, right, and boost your gut health. When you put good bacteria in your gut, you boost your immunity. Your immune system feeds off this. And so your immune system gets stronger. And not only that, everybody, but your metabolism functions better and stronger, which means that you burn your fuel at a higher rate. And so think of it as, for those of you that want more energy, for those of you that want to lose weight, as a matter of fact, many companies market probiotics as weight loss supplements because it boosts your metabolism. And I've learned how many, again, of you are using this only as treatment, not as a building block to your foundation of gut health. So your Vitadophilus is going to boost your gut health while it strengthens your immune system and helps to really strengthen your metabolism, so you are burning your calories, right? You're going to burn much at a higher rate, much faster. You'll burn your fat. Sunrider writes that our proprietary probiotic is formulated with a protective, I love this is genius, protective apple pectin coating. This coating, for a lot of you, when you open up your Vitadophilus, you'll see or you'll taste, it tastes a lot like apples, right? That apple pectin insulates, this is the key here, the apple pectin coating insulates it insulates the good bacteria within from being destroyed from the stomach acids. And so when you eat your Vitadophilus, believe it or not, that pectin, which you all think just tastes good, is actually making sure that the acid in your stomach doesn't destroy the good bacteria. It was brilliant. It's literally like a bubble around every little nugget of bacteria. So it gets not just high up in your upper GI tract, but all the way down lower, right? Sometimes we need it lower, sometimes we need it higher, but we need to put in all that good bacteria. That apple pectin also helps to ensure that it's fast-acting and that it's got maximum nutrient absorption. And if there's one thing you will always hear from me, it's you have got to absorb your nutrition or else you're getting no fuel and no benefit from it. And that's what the apple pectin is doing. Sunrider states, and I'm reading right off their product fact sheet, each serving supplies at least 20 million live is the key word, live culture bacteria, the Lactobacillus acidophilus, to protect your body against harmful bacteria. Anyone like Jackie is talking about that's ever had an ongoing infection, and it can be a bladder infection, right? It can be any kind of infection that your body has taken hold of, right? We all know what it's like to get a bacterial infection. When you put in enough good bacteria, you can protect your body against the harmful bacteria. But guys, you have to constantly replenish your good bacteria. It's not, I put it in yesterday, therefore tomorrow I'm protected. That's not how food works. You have to eat this every day. Every day we breathe in something, we touch things, we taste things, right? We're always around other versions of germs. But this is really our saving grace. We can eat this Vitadophilus every single day and protect ourselves. Sunrider states that the Vitadophilus will even help displace the non-beneficial microorganisms. What that means is that these are the organisms that cause bloating and discomfort and that gassiness. And anyone who's ever had an overgrowth of yeast, right? UTI infections, all these bacterial, viral, right? All the discomfort we get from, we just don't have, the truth is we don't have enough good bacteria to do what the job we're asking it to do. So, we have a solution, okay? We have a solution. Every day you eat your Vitadophilus. And why is it different than every other probiotic on the market? Because Sunrider, in their ingenious way, found a way to protect and coat the living bacteria in the apple pectin so that it stays alive and not destroyed by the acid in your stomach, which most probiotic and prebiotics end up dead, okay, before they get where they need to go. This way, you're going to rebuild and build, but this will help before your meals, guys, to prevent, again, gassiness, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, even for the babies. You can use it after the meal if you find that you ate, and again, the same thing, indigestion, bloating, gassiness, there's an answer. But my favorite is when we all lay a foundation with Quinary, but then we add that combination of Vitadophilus with Assimilaid. It's a win-win every single time. And the good news is that we're building our systems and replenishing either what we're deficient in, what we've lost, or what we need every single day. This is why you end up feeling better. And this is why for Jackie, right, her body did the miracle. The food was correct. This is what I'm always saying. If the food's correct and you can absorb it, your body will absolutely do miraculous things. Okay? All right. I know I'm going fast, but that's because I need to get to a couple of products here. And I just want to, again, state that we are looking to balance all 5 of our systems, all of our organs, and then add what we need. And so that Assimilaid and Vitadophilus are brilliant and wonderful as long as you add your foundation first, okay? All right, dehydration. This is a very big issue, and it's getting bigger. For whatever reason, this is, again, rearing its head. Guys, hydration is important because when we hydrate, we have a carrier. Usually it's water, right? Our bodies are made of over 70% water. That carrier has to carry all these herbs, all the nutrition through your blood, right? It's got to carry everything through all your systems, to your organs. It doesn't just get there. It has to be carried. And I always say, think of it like a stream that's flowing. The hydration part is actually that stream, and it carries everything where it needs to go. And then not only does it carry it, but it then hydrates it. And when we hydrate, guys, you'll notice a plethora of your symptoms disappear. You'll notice your skin is plumper, your skin looks more youthful, your heart's not racing. You'll notice that for a lot of you, you begin to feel much better. And one of the best ways we can hydrate is with a product that Sunrider has. And this product, in my opinion, is it is the best product on the market for electrolytes, and it's called Electrosport. And it can go hand in hand for all of you with Fortune Delight. You can mix it right with your Fortune Delight. But I want you to really not pass over the Electrosport. I want you to really think about this and use this because this is about your electrolytes. And this is about heart rhythm. This is about regulating, right, functions of the body. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and Sunrider states, don't let your performance suffer when you're working up a sweat. And for a lot of you, I always say this to you, that can be someone like Margie, who's out actively playing pickleball and perspiring. It can be like Christina, who was on the call the other night, who is an amazing young professional tennis player. It can be, I won't use a name, like somebody who's in the middle of menopause and having horrific hot flashes. It can be someone who's just in the house and sweating. It doesn't matter. If you are perspiring, you are losing your electrolytes. Everybody, when you are outside, needs Electrosport. Everybody. Sunrider states that our liquid herbal concentrate provides an instant boost of electrolytes. It regulates, guys, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and 10 other important minerals in one handy vial. All you have to do is add it to your Fortune Delight in your sport bottle or even a bottle of water, and it will immediately, and I mean immediately, replenish you and revitalize your bodies and hydrate you. So this can be for anybody, right? In the morning, you may work out, you may be on your Peloton, or you may be, for a lot of you, you're on your treadmill. For some of you, you're a busy mom, and you are running around with these kids. For some, you are outside mowing a lawn. Others are at work. Some of you are really active. It doesn't matter. For some of you, you're just sitting outside perspiring. But for a lot of women, in the middle of the night, this is golden for you because that's when you get your night and your hot flashes. All you have to do is open a vial, pour it in. Sunrider yourself?
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah, I use it. I'm down here in South Florida. I'm outside all the time, working in the garden, cutting grass, playing tennis, riding my bike. It's always Fortune Delight, Electrosport, and of course I add in the Evergreen and Sunnydew. But I find that it just keeps me going. I don't dehydrate. I don't wait until I'm licking my lips because then it's too late. I just do it periodically, depending on what I'm doing. Could be every 10 minutes, could be every 15 minutes, but I'm always drinking. And it's not just a sip. It's a good 3 or 4 good swallows of my Fortune. So it's staying ahead of dehydration. That's the way I like to work with it.
And I have to say, Rich, you're my role model for that, because Rich is always saying stay ahead of the dehydration. Because the moment you recognize you're thirsty, you've passed being dehydrated. And I just want to share this, and Rich, you always speak to this. If you look under the ingredient highlights on Sunrider's product page, and forgive me, I have been using my voice all day. I'm actually drinking my Sunny Fresh. You'll see the importance of and I've realized how much education sometimes is needed just in what electrolytes are and how they work. But you'll see Sunrider writes potassium. And they state this vital, and it's important, this vital macro mineral plays a key role in your overall health. It helps maintain, guys, proper fluid levels and ensures the muscles and nerves are working appropriately and keep your heart beating regularly. That's what potassium does. And if you've ever been dehydrated and your heart is racing or you feel like you're going to pass out, a lot of you know what this is, especially a lot of you who have kids. I want to just state, I make this every day, and I keep it in my refrigerator for my children. They drink Electrosport just because they were at school every day. The second is magnesium. And this is important. One of the 7 essential macro minerals, magnesium plays a really big role in both anaerobic and aerobic energy production. And this is important because this is your energy currency. And without it, you don't have the energy, you just don't have the energy. And then the last one I just want to read to you that Sunrider states is selenium. And Sunrider states that this important mineral supports antioxidant activity, but here's the key. It defends against free radical damage and inflammation in your immune system. So if you understood, guys, that these electrolytes regulate your heart rhythm, that are what help give you your energy, that reduce the inflammation in your immune system, that help increase your metabolism, that replenish all the lost minerals that you lose that cause all sorts of symptoms. And I mean all sorts of symptoms, from headaches to dizziness, right, to vertigo, to heart arrhythmias, everything. If you understood that putting 1 vial of Electrosport in your water, in your Fortune Delight, could give your body, as we talked about at the beginning, the correct nutrition so your body can be the miracle, you will notice, oh my gosh, I have an entirely different future in front of me, and now I know why I want to scream from the rooftops why everyone needs this. Okay, so just to recap, Quinary lays, as Jackie said, lays the foundation to feed all 5 major systems, which regulate all your organs. Second, we add, right, for digestive imbalances. Before meals, after meals, morning, noon, night, as often as you need it. The Assimilaid and your Vitadophilus, which is the best pro and prebiotic on the market. And the third, everybody, if you are perspiring at all, whether you're sitting at your desk, whether you're taking a walk, whether you are outside in warm weather, whether you are active, whether you're a kid, whether you're a grown-up, doesn't matter. You have to replace those electrolytes or you will start to notice a lot of symptoms that are not wonderful. And the win-win. We rehydrate, and we put the electrolytes back in. I hope that's helped answer so many of these questions that I've been getting all week, and that you will put on a piece of paper these products and get ordering right now, and order some extra. Don't wait till you're in crisis to try to overnight them to yourself. Just get them now. Would anybody like to add anything to what we just talked about or have any questions?
Dr. Dees,
Yes.
I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I used to work on a golf course, and I did the beverage cart. I always had in my bottle for myself Electrosport, and I would put many other things in it, Fortune Delight, Evergreen, whatever I felt like that day. But I always had vials of Electrosport with me because many times a golfer would get overheated, and they'd have them laid out on the green and waving me down and stuff. And I would open that up and put some in some water, or if I had my drink there and I had drank out of that bottle and had poured out of it, I would give them some of that. And they would put them on my cart, and I would take them back to the clubhouse. But by the time I would get back to the clubhouse, they would be feeling much better. I mean, they were just like, wow, what was that? And,
What was that?
yeah, it really is amazing.
That's a wonderful testimony.
Yeah, and for myself, when I first was introduced to Sunrider, one of the things is I could not drink water. It made me feel nauseous, and it clugged around. It did not absorb. And so I was told, start drinking Fortune. I could drink tea, I could drink soda, but not water. And I was told to start drinking Fortune Delight. I had no problems drinking Fortune Delight, and after I started drinking Fortune Delight, I could then drink water. And someone explained to me that, we're drinking bottled water, everything's been taken out of it, and you need minerals to actually absorb that water. So I didn't, and so your body has to provide those if you're not putting it in with the water. And so my body just didn't have it to provide, and so it just plugged around. And another interesting thing is that when I started drinking Fortune Delight, I got very, very thirsty. And prior to that, I was never thirsty. And so I had completely passed the point of dehydration because if you do, by the time you're thirsty, you're dehydrated, but you will pass that point and no longer be thirsty. And that's where I was.
Wow. What an amazing experience and story. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope everybody's listening to what she's saying, because it's the truth. Nobody wants to be past dehydration to where they don't even know, right, that they are dehydrated. So as Rich said, drink this now so that you are ahead of it. And God bless you for the golfers. My gosh, I can only imagine, how this went. And again, it's always the same thing. People just forget to hydrate, or they don't realize how much they lose when they're out in the sun. Anybody else?
Dr. D, Sarah Reynolds.
Yes, hi.
For many years, I've only been using the Fortune Delight, and I understand that helps to balance the electrolytes as well. And that's really worked for me even when I play tennis outside, as long as I'm drinking throughout exercise.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, I haven't really needed the Electrosport. I have tried it, but not on a regular basis. So do you feel that's enough to keep yourself hydrated if you're drinking that throughout the day?
I think that if you are drinking your Fortune Delight, that is wonderful. And if you find that you are perspiring more, then I would absolutely add the Electrosport.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right, guys. Marlene, Donna, are either one of you there that can cover any of the other calls tonight? Thank you all so much for taking your time and joining me